Let's get straight into it. So we're going to start at the end, which is actually the closest point to where we are now. And when we have a look at anything in the physical environment, be that physical circumstances or be that physical ailments or anything along those lines, what we do is we end up getting to this stage now because of everything that's gone before it. When we have a look at how do we correct or how do we fix or how do we address all of these issues, then we actually have to go backwards and not forwards. And the reason we have to go backwards is because where we are now is the back end of the cycle. So everything up until now has created exactly where we are now. And where we are now is a culmination of everything that has gone before it. When we go back to the beginning of the cycle, we then end up going to, well, we have this physical situation now that at some point in the past has come together to get us to this stage now. And there are lessons, there are life lessons, and there are soul growth and development elements that then stack on top of each other. And when all these meet, what we have to do is we have to go back to work out why they were created and what purpose they serve. Because nothing is by chance and everything happens for a reason. And there is a underlying purpose to all of this that we are experiencing. When we go from the physical section, that could manifest in any way, shape or form. Primarily, a lot of people actually get physical ailments or infertility problems or symptoms that are magnifying or reflecting an underlying issue within the energy, albeit masculine and feminine, that underlies the concept that actually created the physical problem in the first place. And when we have this balance or imbalance, then we get signs and signals that reflect to us accordingly. And what we have to do is we have to go back with these signs and symbols, and we have to go and work out why they were signposted in the first place. Because there is an imbalance that needs to be balanced. Or if we're in a place of current balance, we have to imbalance in order to rebalance at a different level or a different perspective. So it doesn't really matter what the physical ailment is or the condition is. What we have is we have a situation whereby it is showing us an underlying problem. And this underlying problem needs to then be resolved. And how we resolve that is we go back through the process of going up through the structure. And there is then an underlying issue with some energy or emotional imbalance that has then long since existed and then manifests in the physical in order for us to then have the signposts that are current in order to work back up the scale. And with the emotional side, you could have something like anger, but if it's expressed, it's fine. But a lot of people don't have a way of expressing. And because they don't have a way of expressing, it gets suppressed. And that suppression is actually what creates the physical condition in the first place, because there is a lack of flow in the energy system. And that lack of flow in the energy system, be it from anger, which then turns to frustration, which then gets stored in the cellular memory, which is then stored in the body, then manifests physically because of that lack of flow in that process. And then when we go up again, we have a problem with the mental side. And the mental side is how you've understood circumstances and situations and how you've configured them based on a neutral event. And what I mean by a neutral event is if you were to describe the event as to exactly what happened without any attached feeling or emotion, then it would just be a set of circumstances that have played out in a certain order. And because we then get to the point where that is the case, we then have to go back and rewire all of the stories that we've been told and make sure that we understand them from a place of them being accurate and correct. And then once we can get back to that stage, then we can tie everything in and then reverse all of this conditioning that's manifested in the physical in the first place. But as always, until next time, trust the process, and it's bye for now.